In a quiet valley surrounded by endless mountains, there stood a village that the world had almost forgotten. The people there lived simple lives, they farmed, prayed, and told stories under starlit skies. At the edge of this village flowed a wide river, calm in summer and wild in rain, and over it once stood a grand bridge that led to the city of dreams, a place said to shine even at midnight. But after a great storm years ago, the bridge broke, and no one dared to repair it again. Among those villagers lived a boy named Aaron, whose eyes carried the light of distant hopes. Every evening after helping his father in the small wooden workshop, Aaron would walk to the riverbank, sit on a half-broken plank of the old bridge, and stare at the glittering city far beyond the mist. He often whispered, "Someday, I'll go there. I'll build something the world will never forget." His father, Rutten, a humble carpenter with calloused hands, would smile and say, "Dreams are not reached by waiting for bridges, my son. They are built by those who dare to work on broken wood." But Aaron never took those words seriously. He kept dreaming, not doing. Years passed, and his friends left for other villages, chasing easy promises of wealth. Aaron stayed, half believing, half afraid. The broken bridge had become an excuse, a silent wall between who he was and who he wanted to be. One morning, his father fell ill. The tools in the workshop grew dusty, and the once cheerful home turned quiet. Sitting by his father's bedside, Aaron heard his weak voice say, "Don't wait for the world to fix what's yours to build." Those were his last words before he closed his eyes forever. That night, Aaron walked to the river, looked at the moon trembling on the water, and felt the weight of those words pressing against his heart. He took a deep breath, picked up his father's old hammer, and decided to rebuild the bridge himself. At first, the villagers laughed. "You? Alone? It took 100 men to build it before," they said. But Aaron didn't reply. He began at dawn, cutting old logs, shaping planks, and setting nails one by one. His hands bled, his shoulders ached, and sometimes the rain washed away his progress overnight. But with each sunrise, he returned, stronger, quieter, more determined. The river roared beneath him, mocking his small steps, yet Aaron kept moving forward. Slowly, the bridge began to rise again, not perfect, not polished, but alive with effort. Travelers from nearby villages came to watch the young man who refused to stop. Some offered help, others offered only doubts. But Aaron had learned something his father once tried to teach him: the bridge outside means nothing until you build the one inside yourself. After 3 long years, the final plank was placed. When Aaron stepped onto the last board, tears filled his eyes. He wasn't crossing to escape anymore, he was crossing to become. The city of dreams glittered ahead, and people stared as the young carpenter walked in, clothes worn, hands scarred, but eyes burning with quiet triumph. Some mocked his appearance, others ignored him, but a kind old woman at the city gate stopped him and said softly, "Those hands may be rough, but they carry the story of creation." She offered him work in her workshop, where Aaron's skills grew and his name began to spread. Years later, when he built one of the grandest bridges connecting 2 major cities, he carved a line into its foundation: "Bridges aren't built to escape places, they are built to connect who you were with who you can become." When Aaron finally returned to his village, now gray-haired and calm, children ran to greet him. They asked, "Uncle Aaron, is it true that you built the bridge of dreams?" He smiled and said, "Yes. But not with wood and nails, with faith, patience, and a promise I made to my father." That night, under the same starlit sky where his childhood dreams once began, Aaron sat by the river again, this time not as a dreamer waiting to cross, but as the man who had learned that success isn't a destination, it's a bridge you keep building every day, plank by plank, with your own hands.